Hello everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, I'm Irene. I'm a homeschooling mom of two boys, 8 and 11 years old. They are doing Ambleside Online Year 3 and Year 5 now. That is a Charlotte Mason curriculum. And today I'm preparing for Year 4 and Year 6. This is Year 4 schedule printed from AO website. Term 1, 12 weeks, Term 2, and Term 3. Those marks are when my older one did Year 4, but now I'm preparing for my younger one. It's recommended to start Year 4 with a 9-year-old or above, 9 or 10 years old. My younger one turns 9 in September. We might start a few months before then. He's almost finishing Year 3. And we school year-round, so we go into the next year directly when they finish a year. We take breaks when we need to, during holidays, when we travel as a family, or when we need to take a short break. We may take one day off every 2 weeks or so, but we don't take long breaks, and we school year-round. So he's almost finishing Year 3. I want to get Year 4 prepared for him to start. So he'll be a younger Year 4. And since I have already done Year 4 with my older one, these are the books. I know the books. And I know my younger one's reading stamina. His comprehension is good, but he's still building his reading stamina. So I know many of these books will be a stretch for him. But since he's a younger Year 4, if we take 1.5 years or just longer than 1 year to finish Year 4, that is totally okay. And we school year-round, so I don't have pressure to finish this year before next summer or anything. So the way I prepare it, first I go over each book. The Bible, we do our own Bible reading during family devotion, so I'm not following AO Bible readings for any of them. So we'll start with history. This country of ours, we have that on Kindle. We don't have that as a physical book. I know one chapter is about 10 minutes. This one, my older one, when he did Year 4, he was 10 years old, so a little older, and he was reading almost at a high schooler level. So he read all his Year 4 books by himself. But for my younger one, I'll start having him read a few of these, but a lot he'll follow along in the book and listen to an audiobook, I think. So this country of ours, we'll do audiobook and follow along in Kindle. And it's scheduled 1 chapter per week. We'll just do 1 reading, because some I'll split into 2 or 3 readings. So he can do 1 chapter in 1 sitting. Answering the Cry for Freedom. Surprisingly, because this one is scheduled only like 2 people per term. So like, for example, that's 1 person, and you are supposed to read maybe just 3 pages, half of that person per week, and then 1 week, then the next week finish that person, and you only have 2 people per term. So it's scheduled sporadically, not every week, throughout year 4, 5, and 6. And my older one just loved that book. I thought since it's not scheduled every week, maybe it might feel a little odd, or he may become less familiar with the book, but he loved when this comes up. And now he's doing year 5, and he just asked, and I let him finish this book ahead of the schedule. So he just finished that. He read the chapters scheduled for year 6 too, so he finished that book. That is, but for my younger one, I think we can still schedule 1 reading when it's scheduled, because it's not long. Trial and Triumph we did together during family devotion time, so they will now read independently. Poor Richard, that was a harder one because of the language and all the background, all the cultural allusions, like when it mentions some background in England and in France. I didn't know all the details, like what they are referring to, so that aspect was a little difficult for even for my older one. So it's scheduled about 23 pages the first week, because it starts at page 11, so like 12 pages. Like 2 shorter sections. Okay, 2 sections, that's 1 week. I think my younger one will need, so Poor Richard will need 2 readings for this book. So every week, so I list these first, and then I count how many readings I have per week. So that is one, but Poor Richard will be 2 readings per week. Main of Mississippi, that is a geography book. That's the map. We'll look at that when reading. It's 1 chapter almost every other week, and if I remember, it's like 3 pages, yeah, per chapter. I think he can read in 1 sitting. So main is 1 reading. Oh yeah, that is not every week. That is not every week. And we will see once we start, especially at the beginning, it always takes longer. They always read, like it seems slower. So he may take 3 sittings for 1 reading, but eventually it will catch up. So that's just for me to have an idea for now. Storybook of Science, we did audiobook. That one is okay. Each week was 10 minutes. Yeah, 2 chapters, that's 15 minutes. We'll probably do 1 chapter at a time, so 2 readings. We didn't do Madame How and Lady Y with my older one. I think I'll skip that for my younger one too. That is Gregor Mendel is a picture book, so we can just read it anytime. I still need to get it from Amazon. Age of Fable. Oh yeah, because that's the older schedule. They just changed Age of Fable to year 5. Year 4 is Heroes of Asgard. That one I found an audiobook because we just finished the Heroes in year 3 for Greek myth. So Heroes of Asgard, I listened a little. It's I think he'll be able to do, we'll do 10 to 15 minutes each time, and then we'll see. Robinson Crusoe, that one, the beginning was really hard even for my older year 4, my older one, because the beginning was his like thoughts. It's philosophical. It's 1 sentence per paragraph. Like, I regret I didn't listen to my dad, but in a really sophisticated way. So in the beginning we will go very slowly, but then after, according to my older one's words, once he starts to build boats and there's action, it will go more smoothly. So it's 2 chapters per week. That one will have to do. Literature book, it always takes longer. I'll plan for every day for now. And once we're done with term 1, in term 2 and 3, there may be some new books, but oh yeah, because year 4, there are a few new books. But for the other books, they'll be more familiar, and it will be less difficult. By year 2, term 2, so for term 1 we have 5, 13, but that's not every week. So about 10 readings per week. So we do 5 days a week. That's about 2 readings. That is very manageable. But in the beginning, maybe we will need more. Like, if he can't finish in 2 sittings, we'll further divide, and we'll just take time to get into a routine. And in term 2, I'm just getting an idea now, because after term 1, this can change. So This Country of Ours, the same. Answering the Cry, the same. They will have George Washington's World. That one will be long too. Each section is not long. This one is a longer one, like 5 pages. This one is just, usually it's 2-3 pages, like shorter sections, but they schedule a lot per week. So my older one is doing year 5 now. For year 5, they do Abraham Lincoln's World, and year 6, Augustus Caesar's World. So for my year 5 now, he's doing 2 to 3 sections a day, 3 days a week. He's doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and he will be able to finish almost on schedule. But for my year 4, if we so George Washington's World, if 3 sections times 3 days per week, but he can do maybe 2 sections, so we'll have to do every day in the beginning at least. So this book is an everyday book. Abigail Adams, that one was quite difficult too. It's 1 chapter per week. So let me show you 1 chapter. Okay, this one it's 2, 4. Okay, that one was shorter. It depends. 2, 4, 6. So within 10 pages, I think, usually. Yeah. But the characters are small, and my older one did 1 chapter in a sitting. I think my younger one needs at least 2, maybe 3. Let's do 3 per week to finish 1 chapter. And the Ocean of Truth, that's the biography of Isaac Newton. We did Ocean of Truth. We did audiobook. I think 1 chapter was 10 minutes, so we can do 1 chapter. Yeah, 1 chapter per week we can do in 1 sitting. We continue with main storybook of science. No Age of Fable for now. Robinson Crusoe, and then when that's almost finished, the next literature book is Kidnapped. Again, 2 chapters per week. That one was quite long too. I think Kidnapped, I think at least 1 chapter per sitting, maybe 3 times. Let's do 2 first. And term 3 is the same books as term 2. It's just at the end, they add 1 shorter book, The Incredible Journey. That one I intend to give to my year 4, and that's for him to try read by himself, independently. 1 chapter per week, because that's a shorter book, and with animals I think we can that's an easier one. And then there's some Washington Irving short stories, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle. That was really difficult with my older one when we listened to it together and following in the book. There was a lot of description. We did like 2 or 3 pages at a time, but it's at least the stories themselves are short, so we'll do, it's scheduled just 2 weeks for this and 3 weeks for The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. but we may take longer. We'll just see how long. Take as long as we need to for that one. And Paul Revere's write just 1 week because that's the long poem. I think he can read that in one sitting. So shorter books will just insert when time comes. That's I'm having an idea for the longer books. So we have again 10, 12 readings. If we do 5 days, so 2 to 3 readings per day. And I didn't write this country of hours. Answering the cry, that's not every week. Ming, that's not every week. But storybook of science. So actually, we have at least 15. So definitely 3 readings per week for term 2 and term 3. 3 readings per day, 15 per week, 3 readings per day. That way I can, later I'll try to distribute them to days, like, well, for literature and George Washington's World, if it's every day, I'll assign a time. Like, we'll have an idea, we always do this in the morning or in the afternoon. But if it's 3 days a week, usually we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so we have a break in between. It doesn't seem like we're doing that every day. And we put some other book on Tuesday, Thursdays. The schedule is flexible, but I'll just make a table later and to make sure we can finish. Well, not everything in 1 week. We can take longer to finish 1 week, but I want to cover every book. So I'll take this and insert the books into our current daily routine. We have routine that is working well, and we just switch the books. So that's with year 3 and year 5 books. We have morning time. Now we are doing parables from nature with both kids and year 3 books. And then they do independent work, copy work, dictation. My year 5 is doing written narration. Yeah, my year 4 will start that. We'll start slowly, once per week. And math, etc. And in the afternoon, we do something together again, and then separate readings. So I hope to keep the same flow, but insert, because for now, for example, my year 3 also he does a few readings per day, a few in the morning, a few in the afternoon, so we can schedule those into the day. And then I look at the books again. So that one, the poem, he can read by himself. Incredible Journey, he can read by himself. Robinson Crusoe, he'll follow along and listen to audiobook at least for the first half, where he gets used to the book, where it gets into action. If he wants to, we'll see if he can read by himself, but not in the beginning. Not that one, but Heroes of Asgard will do audiobook. Kidnapped will do audiobook and follow along. Poor Richard, that's not an audiobook, but that one is difficult. We'll read together and slowly Same for Abigail Adams. Same for George Washington's World. There's no audiobook. Usually there's audiobook on Audible or Hoopla or YouTube for literature, but not for those history books. Not for Ming, but that one is okay. And no audiobook for Cry for Freedom. So there's a lot more he'll need to read. And I think I'll read with him. Maybe we'll buddy read. But he does, if he's reading aloud, he reads shorter. If he reads by himself, he can read longer. So maybe I'll just be next to him. And like for George Washington's World, let him read silently one section and see if he can narrate. So he doesn't necessarily need to read aloud to me. And we used to schedule a few things together, but now that his brother has done all the year 4 books, so he'll do all those by himself, like it's independent reading. But we'll do Shakespeare together. So we'll do Shakespeare during morning time. I'll replace Parables from Nature that we are finishing. By Shakespeare, we'll do one Tales from Shakespeare retelling and then one actual play. We'll do 2 times per week and we should be able to finish one. It's AO suggests 3 plays per year, so 1 play per term, and they have a rotation. You can follow their rotation, but I'll just do the plays I have here because I have it in print so that I don't have to go borrow from the library. So we'll just take as long as we need to. We'll do 2 times, 2 mornings per week, and see how long it takes us to finish a play. And we'll only get faster and smoother in the future. And for written narration, my older one did. I varied, like he would write written narration he wrote from almost all of those books, less from the literature books, but from all the other books, especially those that are by chapter or by section. It's really good. I think I'll have my younger one. For his year 4, I'll have him do 1 written narration per week as recommended in the beginning, and just choose a different book in the beginning for written narration, and we'll see what works better. For year 4 free reads, my older one did the whole Chronicles of Narnia series, and these books. So what my older one has read, I'll try to have my younger one read these independently if he has extra time. The others, what my older one didn't get to, will listen to audiobook in the car or at bedtime. But I don't want to repeat this for my older one. So my younger one will have to read them by himself or skip them. So let's check again. Daily work, weekly work. If we missed anything, they'll do math. Every day we are not doing Latin, we are doing Spanish. And art, picture study, geography. That's and songs, hymns we do during family devotion, songs and geography and art. That's during our morning time together. Shakespeare, we are not doing Plutarch yet. We'll wait a little for that one. It's stretching enough for him, year 4, so we'll wait for Plutarch. I forgot to say for poems, we are reading together during morning time. We are doing year 3 poetry now and move on to year 4 and year 5. They read 1 poem per person per day. So that's we're doing that together. So now I'll look at year 6 books. My year 5 is not finishing year 5 yet, so I'm just having an idea because I just got all the year 6 books, so I want to have an idea. Again, we do Bible according to our own schedule. Story of the World, Volume 4, that's the history spine. Before coming to AO, we did Story of the World, Volume 1 and 2 together for history. So we are pretty familiar with the book, but I think Volume 4 is longer per chapter. Let me see. Okay. For example, about 7 pages per chapter. 7 to 8 pages, and it's scheduled 2 chapters, 1 or 2 chapters per week. I think for my older one, he can do, we'll still plan for 2 reading slots. So Story of the World. So 1 chapter per day, we'll do 2 days. Answering the Cry, he finished. That one is just a little bit, I haven't got that book yet. So, oh, I have, because we did, I have Child's History of the World. So we can do that one. 6 chapters, that's just 1 more reading the first few weeks. Never Give In, that's the biography. So 1 chapter is a few pages. Characters are pretty small. Is it his speeches? Okay, let's see how long. Oh no, it's here. It's several chapters per week. I think he can do Never Give In. I think we can try to finish all the reading in 1 day, because each section isn't too long. Geography, that's the Book of Marvels. He's doing Occident in year 5 and continue to Orient, so he'll be familiar with the book. We always did one chapter per week. Yeah, it's just 1 chapter per week. Couldn't just happen. it's one chapter split into two, about 2 weeks, so half a chapter per week. Let me look at the table of contents. So 12 pages per chapter, like 6 pages per week. Here. So about 6 pages per week, but several shorter sections. It's like science devotion. It talks about creation and those topics, so it's not like a story. So it doesn't seem long, but the information may be rich, and I think he should be able to do one reading as scheduled. And this human anatomy is scheduled in year 5 and year 6. It's just like chapter 7 is divided into 6 weeks, so it's a little bit every week. He can do, we'll just follow the schedule. Einstein's theory of relativity, it's one chapter per week. Okay, let's see, one chapter, 2. So one chapter is long. A few pages, a few images. Yeah, I think because my older one, he can finish one chapter per week. Yeah, I don't have periodic table yet, and the elements I'll borrow from the library. I've looked at the pictures. It's nice pictures, not too much reading, and not scheduled every week, so that is okay. Age of Fable, they changed the schedule, but we'll do different chapters, but he's familiar with that book because he did that in year 4 and year 5. The Hobbit, the literature book is usually the longest. Now in year 5, he's reading Oliver Twist. We are doing 3 times a week. I wanted to do 5 days a week, but it seemed a lot, so we are doing 3 times a week and taking longer for that one. But The Hobbit, I think it might be easier than Oliver Twist because he's dying to read this and the Lord of the Rings and then watch the movies. So I think for year 6, it feels about the same load than year 5 for my older one. So I'm not too worried for now. Term 2, they add in story of the Greeks and then story of the Romans. It's it's a lot of chapters per week, maybe the chapters are short. Yes, like 1 or 2 pages. Okay. So like a really short information in each chapter, but like 10 chapters per week. We'll do 2 to 3 times so that it's not too much in one day for that one. And after Story of the Greeks, I think, yeah, it's Romans term 3. It's the same thing. I mean, a lot of chapters. So we'll see how it goes with the Story of the Greeks and do the same thing for Story of the Romans. And Genesis, finding our roots. It's each unit every 3 weeks, like divided into 3 weeks. So let's see how long that is. Unit 1, 15 pages, so a few pages per week. So that's a lot of information. So it doesn't seem a lot of pages, but it might take longer to digest, I think, through the different sections. So it's they divide into a few, like 5 pages per week, 3 weeks to finish a unit. So we'll just follow that schedule. Any new books? Okay, Animal Farm, that's the literature book. I heard that's a shorter one. It could be, the allegory could be deep. We'll see. I'll read with him, like he'll read, but I hope to read it too so we can discuss. But it's not a long book. It's an easier read, but it could be profound. I don't know. I haven't read that, but it's a shorter read. And then Iliad and Odyssey. You can choose Church or Sutcliffe. I got both by Church from Living Books Press. So for Church, it's a few chapters. It depends. 1 or 2 or 3 chapters per week. Let's see. Iliad first. I think that was according to the length of the chapter. Okay, it's not too long. A few pages per chapter, a few chapters. I think we'll still do 1 chapter per day, and so if it's 2 chapters, 2 days per week. And by year 6, once we get into a routine, we have an idea. Again, I divide, like he has to do, let's say 5 readings per day, but he can, the order can vary, like he wants to do this first or the geography first. That doesn't really matter. And I'm thinking I'll probably at least involve him in the planning and then see if he can be more independent, starting in year 6. And we'll do Shakespeare together in morning time. And free reads is when he has time. We will see. We can do a lot of free reads at bedtime or in the car with audiobooks. And everything else, crafts, nature study, geography, maps, drills, picture study, that's all together during morning time. So again, I'll insert books in here. We'll do morning time together, independent readings, math, copywork, written narration, etc., and come back together again for one book. And lunch break, Spanish, Chinese, and in the afternoon we'll do something together first, and then break up, do independent readings, and then get back together, do Chinese history. I'm reading some Chinese history, culture, geography to them. So we'll follow our daily routine. If you haven't seen it yet, you can check out our day in the life videos. You can see, I'll put in a link in the description too. You can see how our day goes. We'll keep the same daily flow that is working well for us. For now, we school from about 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I don't foresee a big change when they go into year 4 and year 6. Year 4 will be difficult for my younger one. Year 6 will be okay, but we will take longer to do year 4 instead of making our days longer. So we'll just keep the same routine and go as we can. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a blessed day.